നമസ്കാരം. ഇന്നത്തെ മീറ്റ് ദ ആർട്ടിസ്റ്റ് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യാണ്. 2 പ്ലേയുടെയാണ് ഇന്നുള്ളത്. ഈജിപ്ഷ്യൻ പ്ലേയ ഇന്നലെ കളിച്ചത്. ഇന്ന് ഇവിടെ കളിച്ച പ്രോജക്റ്റ് ഡാർലിംഗ്, ഇപ്പോൾ ബ്ലാക്ക് ബോക്സിൽ കളിച്ച ഈ 2 പ്ലേയുടെയാണുള്ളത്. ആദ്യം ഈജിപ്ഷ്യൻ പ്ലേയുടെയാണ്. നമുക്ക് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യാം.
Artist, we have the Egyptian team. Right. In a lighter way, when I entered into the auditorium yesterday to watch you, like an Egyptian. Okay. It's reminded me of that. That's in a lighter way. Now coming to body, teeth, and wood. Before going to the play, tell me the play productions in Egypt and how you conceived this play. Please.
Okay. Hello, good morning everyone. Thank you for the festival, for the invitation. We are looking forward to meet all of people in India. So my performance, Body, Teeth and Wig, is an Egyptian production by Setfi Media Production. Setfi Media Production is a company of our festival in Egypt called Sharm el-Sheikh International Theatre Festival for Youth. I'm the founder and the chairman of the festival, and also the founder and the chairman of Setfi Media Production. We started from 2016 to build our brand, to build our company. Especially for me, I started my career at 1998. So this is a performance called Body, Teeth and Wig. The first production of Setfi Media Production. I'm the playwright, and the scenographer, and the director for this performance. Maybe I take 1 year before to prepare the performance, to prepare the text, to prepare the script, and then I decided to start to make it the production to be ready for the audience. Actually, we did the avant-premiere in South Korea in August 2024, and then before our travel to India, we already performed in Egypt, and then this is the third destination in India in the festival. So I think it's some ideas come to my head, come to my brain, based on my life experience, based on my journey in the festival, in theater, as a theater man, and write something about the fake relationship between the human and another human. It's very important topic, because we are in the AI society, we are in social media society. So I asked myself, and also for the audience, about if we have this virtual life, not real life, what we will do with each other. That's it.
Your play says about the new generation of humanity, and it is mentioning the ill effect of body shaming. Like that. It also deals with ADHD. It's a lot of metaphors or a lot of references are like that. when coming to or when dealing with the present day situations. Can you throw some more light how the psychological issues are also incorporated in the performance?
Um, Actually, when you see the topic, when you see the subject of the performance, you can imagine that it will be like a physiology issue or something like that. But it depends on psychology issues. It's very important to talk about the feeling between the human, between into the human. So we goes on into the human and talk more about the psychology issues, about the problems we are facing inside and outside. So it's very important to talk about. If you talk about the body and teeth and weight, I think you must talk more about the human feeling, about the psychologist's issue, about the sociologist's issue.
Thank you. And I heard some of the lines that I wish to be free. Yeah. So it's talking about liberation of freedom also, right?
About all topics about the human, because human is dreaming for freedom, for everything. So it's very important to talk more about the human dreaming.
And another interesting factor, which is you are talking about a world without what it was living a time without AI, artificial intelligence. But the performance uses all the modern technological advancement for the performance. But we are saying a world without all these kind of things. Is it a contradiction, or how do you describe that?
Visually, by the way, I'm one of most important persons to update the scene in performances in the Middle East. So this is from the beginning. So I started to work with some technologies like 3D mapping, like visual art, like something like that. It mixes between theater issues and cinematic issues. So when I decided at maybe at 2018, when I decided to use the technology to put it into my performances, I decided to make the strong relationship between the items, all of items in the performance. So we are talking about the new generation of humanity. We are talking about the human in the new century. We are talking about many things in the modern scene. So it's very important to use some technology to be involved in your performance. This is the first issue. The second issue is some technologies maybe help you to be around, to travel a lot. Something like it's, for example, if you the scene now, the theater now in the whole world, it's not contained about a lot of props, about a lot of decoration, about all. So this is technology. Maybe can it change the scene from the scene to the scene? So it's kind also about the moderation, about the direction way for my performances. If you saw my previous performances, you can check on my channel on YouTube, because I have my channel by my name, Mazen Al-Gharabawi. If you saw some performances, projection used the LED screen, used something technology, because we have a big difference between the scene on cinema and the scene on theater. So it must be something like updating about the scene. So it's very important to use the technology, and then you can be involved.
Right. Okay. We just started, that's all. Okay. So since I think all performers or actors are here, kindly introduce them also.
Okay, let me introduce ladies. Ladies took a lot of time to prepare themselves. Okay. Iman Youssef, she is an Egyptian actress. She's graduated from the dramatic arts in Egypt, because we have the biggest academy of art in the Middle East, basically in Egypt. Nagam Saleh Saad. Nagam, she also a professional actress and singer. She's very famous, by the way, in Egypt. She has a lot of singles, viewers on YouTube. Also, Nihal,
Share your experience in this play and performance here.
It's very pleasure to be here, and it's very nice experience in Indian and with Indian people. This performance, it's very special for me because it's very unique show. It's very rare in Egypt to do the different performance like that, and it's very difficult to me to be with the Ustaz Mazen Al-Gharabawi and this very later time, and it was a very nice experience with Iman and Nihal and Gihad and Ustaz Ahmed Amin, all cast. And it's very special for me to do something like a humanity, to talk about the humanity. It's very difficult to share this experience with the people, to connect with people, your feelings and what you want to say by these words and feelings with us. And it's very pleasure to be with them, and it's very special performance for me. Thank you.
تجربتك
يعني التجربة كانت تجربة مختلفة، لأن الشغل دايما مع أستاذ مازن مختلف.
She is talking about her very strange experience. She was amazing.
لأن دايما أستاذ مازن بيختار المواضيع اللي ليها معنى في العالم كله، زي مثلا المواضيع الأنثوية أو الفيمينست، إن احنا نناقش قضايا أو مشاكل مختلفة للسيدات.
She is talking about the selection of topics through me as a playwright and also the director, because she played more with me, like 2 or 3 performances before. She is lovely to talk about the feminist issues, like because we did a monodrama with each other called The Announced Suicide. It was the life story between it's basically based on Virginia Woolf's story. She did it with me, so she is enjoying to talk more about the feminist issue, about the human issues, through me, through myself.
هنا في الهند وان احنا موجودين وسطكم قد ايه. ما كنتش متخيله ان هيكون في تفاعل كبير قوي زي اللي حصل امبارح في العرضين.
And she is very honored to perform here, to come here to India, to meet a lot of Indian people. We love India because we saw a lot of cinematic movies. We love Amitabh Bachchan, we love Shah Rukh Khan, we love Kareena Kapoor. So we are respect your art, we are respect your heritage, we are respect your civilization, because you are in India like in Egypt. We have strong civilization, we have a strong history, we have a strong art. So it was amazing night because the feedback was very brilliant for us.
وشكرا جدا ان احنا كنا موجودين معاكم وان انتوا استضفتوا بلدنا مصر اللي انا دايما بكون فخوره ان احنا بنلف بالعروض او بالمسرح او بالفن فيها في كل العالم. شكرا.
And we need to thank you and thank you for the festival to inviting us to perform as an Egyptian team. We are very proud because we are Egyptian. We have a strong civilization, so we are very proud to tour by our country, great country, Egypt. Thank you.
Well, they have said everything. I don't know what to say else. But it's an amazing experience. I think in general, being here in India, it's a country full of culture and history, and we have showed this. We have seen this in the places. Not yet. I haven't seen an elephant before. I have to say that. But concerning the play, the performance at the first place, it's the about life, about feelings, and I think these topics connecting to everyone here in the place. So I'm so honored to be here and to perform this play in front of all of you people. Thank you so much for having us.
Hello, how's everything? Actually, I'm so glad to be here in India and to be a part of this show. Me too, like Nihal, as soon as I read the script, it's really touched my soul, you know. I felt everything about the show, and I think we all suffering from this kind of subject that we're dealing with in the show. So I was so happy to be part of this show. I was so happy to work with Mr. Mazen Garbawi. I was so happy to come to India and to do this show. And everything was more than amazing, actually. So thank you for inviting us, and thank you for the amazing soul that we saw right here. And I wish we can come more and more. We're doing a lot of shows in India, and we will, inshallah. So thank you so much. Thank you.
صباح الخير. اولا انا
Good
مبسوط
morning,
جدا
everyone.
ان انا موجود هنا وسطكم في المهرجان.
I'm very happy to be here with you.
استاذ مازن مش مجرد مخرج انا بشتغل معاه، هو بالنسبه لي اخ واستاذ وصديق.
He talking about our relationship because he like my brother, he like my friend, because we working a lot from more than 10 years ago.
التجربه تقريبا احنا اشتغلنا عليها تقريبا حوالي 30 بروفه فقط.
This experience was like more than 35 days before when started to prepare the performance, because we prepared especially to travel to make the first performance in South Korea in August 2024.
التجربة مهمة جدا وصعبة ومتعبة جدا.
It's a very important experience. It's a very hard experience. It's a very enjoyable experience.
بالتأكيد احنا تقريبا التجربة هنا خدت في اجازة تقريبا 48 ساعة كاملين.
So we took a lot of time to prepare everything because we are respect the audience. Maybe more than 48 hours to prepare everything as well.
لكن بعد التجربة وردود الفعل الجيدة احنا اكيد خلاص كل التعب.
Hello, sir. Yes, yes. Sir, about your play, there was a brief description about your play in the book. It's generally you said it's about an attempt to create an hybrid culture with four women expressing their views. So I mean, how is it that how did you manage to come up with that?
You mean how I selected them?
No, I mean you presented a theme with for women in the view of a particular male character. How's that? It was the short description of your play said that you were trying to come up with a kind of a hybrid culture to find as a solution for cultural conflicts.
Actually, I didn't collect. But I will talk about the. You talking about the difference culture between.
Yeah, I mean, if you could elaborate, on what the four women character actually represent, for different views or.
Okay, but let me talk about the. Okay. Professional actress and singers, they can make the acting, they can be singers, they can did a lot. So I selected basically from the beginning and to make a small workshop with them, and then we can make a casting in the second step. You understand me?
Yeah, that's more about the casting. About I mean, it's like more of an. What I found is that there aren't much of dialogues. It's
Yes.
like the four characters coming up with the monologues or
Yes.
what they have within. So in that, how did you select 4 different views. I mean, is it like the 4 different characters coming out with their issues, saying, giving vent to their issues and what they want to accomplish? I mean,
actually, if you follow my original script, you will not find any characters. For example, it will be girl 1, girl 2, girl 3, girl 4. It's not related about the main role of character. It's a normal character, you know. And we select a part and another part to be collective work, to be something like unique, you know.
And one more about the use of lights. You can see, I mean, it was quite interesting to see the use of lights.
Excuse me, you can loud your voice because I didn't collect you what you are talking.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, about the use of lights in your play. So there was, in the beginning, it was a linear light on the screen, like the girl 1, girl 2, or the 4 girls moving in as 4 different tracks. And then there is a mixing of lights, like you see in a dance floor, and all that. So I mean, what have you tried to, how you have used light as a way of communication?
You know, the lighting is a very unique item, and when you make theater, it's not normal item. For example, you have, it's not like your home lighting. It's something about the semiology, about how you did feel, about how the mixed items during the performance. So it's very important to make the dramatic way of your lighting plan firstly, and then you can decide what you will see. For example, you see something, another audience will see another something from another angle, because the audience not on the same place in your audience part. So it's very important to see some different angles with some different lighting point.
Hello, good morning. Thank you for such a energetic performance that happened yesterday.
Thank you.
So you mentioned the universal dimension of this play, like the crisis of emerging technologies and the social media and everything. But do you have anything to talk about specifically on the socio-political context of Egypt that you can relate with this play?
Because we are not talking about any country all over the world. We are talking about the humanity, the new generation of humanity. We especially, we didn't need to talk about the especially country, or especially human, or especially female, or especially male. We are talking about the new generation of humanity, anywhere, everywhere. So it's a very general topic.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. One of the actors mentioned that it's quite rare, it's quite strange to talk about these issues. Can you just expand upon that so that we can get some context? Thank you.
You're talking about...
Hi. I think it's very rare and different for me. So it's very different to talking about the humanity, just a humanity, not about countries, not about specifically characters you want to talking about, not about women and not about men, you know? It's humanity. He selected to introduce the show by 4 women. It's not about, we're talking about just feminists. You know that? We're talking about the humanity in all world. That's very rare for me, it's my opinion يعني. Just that.
You want to add?
Excuse me, I want to add something for what she just said now. Most of the script that we get in the theater or cinema, drama, whatever, there is a script writer, write this, and then you take the script and you start to work on it and perform it. But this time was totally different for us because we are the one that write the dialogues. It's coming from me, from my deep heart, which is more than amazing. Because you talking about something coming from you, something touches you, so you absolutely doing way better, you feel way better, you enjoy it. So I feel a lot of gut feeling while I'm writing the scenes, while I'm performing the scenes. I think that's also was rare and new for us. We never had this experience before. Yes, most of the dialogues, we wrote it. Yes, I mean, for example, the dialogue about the identity. I'm talking, I say, I am black. This is something I was suffering from when I was young, by the way. So when you get the chance to write something you suffering from, it's absolutely more than good. Thank you.
When a writer writes something like a script, it's his experience, his own experience, or the people around him. But when you write something that belongs to you, your issue, it's more touching to people. So in the identity scene, it was our own issues. It was a real problems that we suffer from. My monologue was about being single. And it's yes, and it's so hard to be single in the Middle East. You have to get married someday. So this is some yeah. And the others too, the other girls too. Something else, the dream scene. It was our dreams, the things that we hope to happen, all these things. I don't think any writer can write something like this because it's not touching him. It's not from inside him.
Okay. Laf Kaftin.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon.
Hi, sir.
First of all, I would like to appreciate the music production of this play. It was truly magical, and it elevated the emotions of the character and also us. So I have actually two questions. So my first question is, in the middle of the play and towards the end, there is an entry of male character. Does that symbolize anything? Or how did you portray that male character to this play? And my second question is, and in the end, we can see the lights are turning off. So does that mean is the humanity is still a darkness, or actually we are we are in the loop of AI and technological advancement? Actually, do you villainizing AI technology?
I will start from the second question. If you, for example, if you feel in the final of the performance, if you feel that when we turn off the lighting, we are still in darkness, that's it. It's okay, because we put many layers about the feedback for the audience. So you can feel something like that. Another person can feel another something. Another person from another generation in another country can feel some another, because it's like some semiology, you know. I'm playing with the audience everywhere about the semiology, about the feedback. If they can take something, they will take a lot of something during the first scene. For example, we have the sign scene. It's a very semiology scene during the performance. It's mixed between the signs, anywhere, everywhere. So something like that.
Performance. Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Years. Mentioning Nagamandala and Girish Kannada, the same question is asked. So there is no much change is happening in that. It's a painful truth also. How do you conceive this one? I know this is a research project kind of thing, maybe even a docu drama, or everything is there in that way. How do you conceive this idea, and what was the force behind?
Yeah, even after 100 years, we have Girish Karnad as our foremost feminist. The truth is, I mean, sure, he's a great writer, but it's not that other people did not exist or other women did not ask greater questions, deeper questions, more lived questions than he did. But they are unheard and undocumented. I think the process is not about whether men should write about feminism or women should, but the absolute disparity in who is seen and who is heard and who is celebrated, and who has the right to ask these questions. So while looking at our own history, what does it mean? Who are we in the theater? What is the female performing body? What is performance for women? You know, we are performing all the time. In real life, we are performing. So when we are on stage, what does performance mean? Was one of the questions. When the society is patriarchal, the stage is also a patriarchal society. I mean, the way we think of actors, acting bodies, the way we think of what one should say, what is good acting, what is bad acting, what is vulgar, what is respectable, is also patriarchal. So we found that a lot of women have broken this joyfully, unapologetically, with great artistry. So we thought these stories are worth telling.
Good. And regarding the Chenny, is a metaphor or a real character lived there? Or there may be hundreds of such people we know.
Yeah, that's an interesting question actually. We found that, you know, we're all here in Kerala, you know, we know these women. We know our Shakilas, and we know our Silk Smithas, we know our Vijay Shantis, and we know these women, you know. We felt like Chenny was one woman, of course, in the play we searched for one woman, but it's also a shaili, you know, it's a form. The vulgar woman is a form. This unapologetic truth-telling, occupying the center of the stage, the cynosure of all eyes. She's at the center. That was, and using double meaning. This place really throwing light on what sort of commentary. Coloring. You have to look at vulgar woman as a form of theatre.
Okay, good. It's a good observation. That is, it can be one of the forms. Just
Absolutely,
like
just given the same respect and
yeah.
the center stage as those forms, as Bharatanatyam, as anything else.
It needs that respect.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
So it again put a question: what if Sleela, Ashleelam, or vulgar is fun? And who decides this?
Who decides? Yes, and they take a decision. They say double meaning means two meanings. One is what you understand. So they place vulgarity exactly where it belongs, in the eye of the viewer, in your head. Vulgarity is not in the body.
I would like to hear from actors also your experience working out this one, because as usual, this may be a collaborative work. You play your part as well as you create also. So tell me your experience along with the play. I would like to hear from all actors.
I think I was really privileged to also be part of the research, and where I was the assistant researcher, and Sharanya and I got to meet all of these women. And there was these constant questions asking of what is vulgarity? Is this vulgarity? Where is Chani? And I think that search really became real for us. And then when we actually went to that jatre, like that fair where there are some 10 plays, and when we see that, oh, she no more exists, because again it's the men objectifying women, but there was only one woman who was talking about men and about, in a way, and she was just shut down, is a loss. But also we had to distance ourselves and do multiple, Sharon really made us go through a different process of, even the play that you're watching today is like the final version. We have 3 work in progress before we arrived at this. So I think it's been a beautiful 2.5 years journey for me, and probably one of the first plays where I am saying something on stage that I can resonate with, and not dialogues and being this, oh my God, I don't know what to do, oh, where is my husband, and all of that, versus saying what I feel, but not with anger, but in a place where I enjoy saying it and I'm unapologetic and I can be myself. And I think that's been completely liberating and has given me a new language. For all of us, like, I think within the group, we have a way of talking. We are saying this is a Chenny move, this is, this is a Shanta, this is a Uma. So we have found our archetypes of the patriarchy, and we are able to navigate through it much better. And I think that itself is a very big victory for me, and such a big learning, and it's the biggest milestone for me in my theatre journey.
We've spoken enough, no? That's the point of this. We should just, for a while, not speak, maybe. Yeah, for me, the questions that Sharanya posed were very interesting. She would propose a question to which we were supposed to improvise, and that's a process which was deeply reflective in many places. You remember the boys' locker room talk. We know, men and boys, we have memory of what we've heard being spoken, but we have another face outside when we are speaking in front of women. So it was sort of a slap in the face in that, you constantly look into the mirror, into yourself, and you relive those moments, and we understand where the rage comes from. So this is a process of listening, which I think is something that I take with me. Yeah.
I think what you see on the stage in the play is some kind of an external search where we are searching for Chenny. But during the process and throughout, the search was much more internal as well. Searching for Chenny within yourself is what happened with all of us and with me as well. Most of the people who have played this form or have understood this form are people I have seen in my childhood, in films, in stories, and they are lost. You don't see so many of them anymore. And the question to look at them in a particular way and look within also in search of them was something that stood with me, and it continues. It is not an ending process. It keeps continuing. After every show, after every normal day also, you find something within yourself where you relate it to, oh, this is what finding this form means. It's a search for this form is what I would say, and it's ongoing.
Actually, I'm 28 years old, okay? But in my 50 years journey, sorry. Okay, in my 50 years journey, yeah, okay. No, actually, my voice is very loud, yeah. See, I want to wear like this kind of dress, but in my life, it's not easy. So, when I'm joining this team in the play, so I can show my inner Chenni in the play. So as well, thank you. See, now I can open like this. I'm very comfortable now. Thank you. But in previous days, it's very difficult. So I have to cover everything. So this is a change of Chenni, but it is in a mind. It is in inner, but I can't show. So this is the stage of showing my inner desire. So I'm thankful to Sharanya to give me a chance as a Chenni. Thank you.
I've had very disciplined training in Bharatanatyam for over 30 years, and as much as I love the form, there are a lot of questions that I wanted to ask through my journey, and I also wanted to find a language in which we could ask. I also had some exposure doing films, doing ads, and I think all the questions that Sharanya posed, and we could use the medium we love absolutely, which is movement for me, or camera, both. We could use to question whatever we wanted to ask, but not with rage, but with just a sense of curiosity, like what is this? And there are many sides to a certain situation when it comes to a woman. Like, we have a villain, we have a heroine, we love both, but both of them suffer. But both of them also have fun, and there are many sides, and I feel like this play gives us enough to explore all sides that we experience in our life, especially the Natya Shastra scene, which I completely resonate with. In my journey as a dancer, I did start my research, and what was very celebrated, like Natya Shastra or Abhignana Shakuntalam or any of these, I went with reverence, and I came out feeling alone rather. Feeling very alone because everybody is like in praise and and I'm like, Shakuntala doesn't have a voice. Andre, at least Vyasa Mahabharata had more voice. But what is celebrated has no, and you celebrate a woman not having voice, Andre, I felt not visible. And the definition of a Nayika is dependent on the Nayaka, and I don't exist independently, and that really bothered me. This play gave me a place to express that and bring it to the world. I don't think I could have done it in a pure classical recitation. Not that I don't enjoy that, but there are a certain questions which I couldn't pose there and I could pose here, mainly because Sharanya was very particular that we bring out our responses. Any question was posed, the response was using our body, our mind, our lived experience. So I think in the this whole play is a culmination of all of our lived experiences, our questions, our joys, and also sexually liberating. Like, we embrace our sexuality, absolutely all of us, including the men, which I think is great. So yeah, that's our journey.
Brilliant observation. Actually, Sharanya was also telling the same way, that is asking questions without rage. Yeah, that's a beautiful or brilliant thing. If on the other hand, it will become just like sloganerism. But whereas this is going in a more subtle way, but the questions
absolutely. And the women that we met, look at the women in your own lives. They are not out on the streets raging, They're in your homes, cooking, putting lipstick, giving birth to your children. Do they not have rage? This is how women's lives are. I mean, if you go to a wedding, there's this very beautiful scene of, the woman getting married, but the all the women are crying simultaneously. So we know this. It's a celebration. But why are we weeping? It's together. We know this is, we experience it together. So there is a beauty in it. There is an unapology in it. There's a fearlessness in it. There's courage in it. So how can we only allow anger to overtake? Anger is one emotion. We have many.
Great. Shall we listen to audience? Questions? be question, can be an opinion, can be.
Audience viewer.
What's the problem if we act with race? What's the problem in it? No problem at all, but we are tired of it. We don't want to be angry with y'all. It's useless.
Also, we don't want to anymore portray that we are victims. And we don't want people to say that we will empower you, because we are all empowered. And I think it's just that realization. And when we realize it's all about how you act. Like, we don't want to react, we wanted to respond. So basically, I think we have all responded, and responded with a lot of dignity, and resilience. We don't have to prove a point and shout and say, oh, somebody has done something to me. Because that doesn't work. Maybe I have done that time and over, and nothing has happened. They're like, okay, cool, I live my life. You do what you want, because I am not responsible to change the society. I am liberated, and that's more than enough. And if I'm able to inspire one or two women, or we are able to inspire someone, then I think we are sorted, and that's all we care about.
It's just that raging is a lot of burden on us. I think it's time you all take the burden. We are done. Now you all take the burden. We are done.
Empowerment, not from
I'm
outside.
saying the
but
rage should
from
also come from somebody else, right? I mean, is this fair? I mean, it's also the responsibility of rage, absolutely. And it's.
I'm talking about the rage that come on the stage. And of course, we will all have a different kind of life. I accept it. I'm a Dalit, born in India, and I know that what kind of thing I experience in my life. But in certain point of time in life, you need to, rage means not just crying, oh my God, somebody killed me. No. Rage means rage against the dying of the lights. Rage against the oppressive fascist forces. It's not crying. It's a very powerful political statement.
Absolutely.
We have lots of poems in Malayalam. It's questioning at the same time, it's raising questions. And there is, of course, there is crying in our life. So when you say that, okay, I stopped raging. Now you take it. Who are these you? My mother, my brother, my sister, my classmates. Who are they?
Yeah.
So So that's the thing. That's the thing which. No. When you say that you take it, you can only represent you. No? You can only represent you. You cannot even represent the whole actors on the stage. No?
I want to ask you a
That's the
question.
question.
Have you watched this show? Have you watched us?
I have.
You watched it, okay. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So now, but I'm not, right now I'm not talking about the play. I really enjoyed the play. I mean, it's marvelous. It's very making sense of the space was very important, using light, everything. That I am planning to see it again sometimes. That's what I sat here to see. How do you respond to the questions?
Absolutely, I agree with you, sir. But the thing is, I think the rage of what you say is really the rage of saying, I will not rage, is also rage. I think in a sense, I understand what you're saying. We are still here is rage also. I think one of the reasons that we are all still sitting here, we will still continue to be here, and you will be here, is because we rage. And sometimes it's also tiring, to rage.
Yeah.
We take solidarity in rage, of course.
Yeah, that's very important word. It's not that we have stopped, you take it. No,
of course
no,
not.
It's
No.
not like that.
No,
That should not come from an
But I'm
artist.
sure you also understand when we say that, why is it our burden only? Isn't it everybody's responsibility to have, a society that is equal, a society that does not look at caste and color? Is it only ours? That pain of it is sometimes a lot. So we also take joy in playfulness, in courage, in leaning on each other and saying, let it be. Our time will come. Hum dekhenge.
Hum dekhenge.
In the play, there is a statement that is, I can understand what you are undergoing, right? Yeah. We cannot experience, but we can understand what the
Yeah, I think that's what I was coming to, especially when we look at the scene of abortion. I remember all of us, or even when all those women said, do whatever you want, but do not trust art. I remember all of us went home crying. We had rage, we were angry one of the days in our rehearsal. We've had a whole journey, and we are very angry when we listen to a woman who says she had an abortion in the morning, but she came in the evening for a show, and her stitches came out, there was blood, but it didn't go waste. The way she says that, it hurts so much for all of us as women. But then, how else can we tell this to the world? Either I be an Abla Nari, or I create a visual where you feel my pain. Right? I feel that's where we are saying, or how much we can shout, Allah. We are with people who are shouting, but we are also trying to find some other way of sharing our pain. I think that's what we are trying to. It's not that we don't resonate with rage. We do, very strongly. And we go home angry every day. Every single day we are angry. But we wake up saying, okay, let's see. No. Tomorrow. That's the whole point of the play. Tomorrow.
Hi. I have 2 points. One is, I feel this a kind of evolution of feminism, where new generation feminism is giving respect to the first generation of feminism, which we had maybe some 40 to 50 years back. That's one point. Yeah. Second one, I have watched your previous play here.
Akshayambara.
Yeah, that was much of a traditional art form, and it's based on very much traditional thing. And here in this one, you are trying to coming of age from that one. Want to have some point of
Thank you. Yes, paying respect to our feminist foremothers. Yeah, absolutely. I think the search also for us started with saying, who were the women before us? What did they do? And there seems to be no information about it. So one sets out in search of one's ancestry. The ancestry need not be of blood, but of professional lineage. I have a lineage to. I draw that lineage from them. They built the stage on which we all stand. And if for instance, I knew the women before me, if I knew this history, if we all knew this history before, maybe we would all have been very different performers. But that history is not told to you, So it was also, another aspect was to not relegate them to history, to say, oh, these women existed before, look at how wonderful they were. But the device was also to bring them today. They're here now in the way that I sit here and speak to you, or in the way that Shobna will wear her dress. They're here. They have not been relegated to history. History will not take them. They are here with us today. So they're also co-actors with us in the performance. Their videos are streamed. We speak live to them. They're alive now here. So that was also one big important thing to do. Otherwise we say, oh, they existed and they were wonderful and today we live here. No, we live in a continuum of this.
Hi, I wanted to ask, first of all, thank you for such a great performance. And my question is, what was the symbolism for that X-ray print? And there was some object printed there. So what is it? Can you explain?
Spoiler alert. Well, the skeletons in our closet, in one way. It's also the ribcage of the heart, the wild heart of Chennai in some way. And it's also the skeleton in all of us. The X-ray exists. And the thing that you see is a pacemaker. It's sort of, sometimes you need a pacemaker in life. Your heart won't function. So I think it was a really beautiful metaphor for us of a photograph of this woman. maybe a photograph of who we are inside, all of us, and not just her. So she sort of becomes everybody's.
Hi. Not sure if this has been spoken of before, but it's a brilliant mix of performance and research coming together. And I wanted to know, like, your experience and research experience as well, like, to bring this theory and praxis, like, it's almost like the opposite of each other, and it rarely meets. And when it meets, like, it's beautiful. So I wanted to ask about, like, how was the experience for you to bring that research and performance practice together?
Yeah, it wasn't an easy process at all. I think it was also a search for a form, in what way, what they are telling us does not exist as a form in theatre. They are a form by themselves. So how do we express these things in a form? So the play that you see, we have to mix form, find form. Also, the play is also very relies on this very important aspect of non-performativity. Where do you place the performance, the dramatic effect of the female body? If you see the particular scene in which she flips her eye, you see her eye on the screen. Her gaze is turned back. It's a metaphor for aankhon ki gustahiya. That's maybe to see her eyes searching back, looking back at us. To find these are the visuals that I think we were in search of, the theatre that we were in search of. The dramatic is really in setting up the scene where you say, wet your lips, wipe your sweat. These kind of things that you're not even human, and then, the gaze that she turns back. This sort of search for where does one place the dramatic in female lives? Where is the gaze? Where is the female gaze on society or on itself? The form really searched, we really searched for that. Or even when they perform sexual clown, what does this sexual clown mean? Because she was a sexual clown. And we had so much fun discovering what is that? So in the rehearsal room, that would be a question. We'd say, today let's explore sexual clown. What is sexual clown for a man? And when you see, Shashank and Shunga perform, it's also such a beautiful version of the sexual clown. Like, for instance, when Shashank performs sexual clown, he's really shy, he's doing this double meaning, but there's a shyness. Where is the shyness in men? The vulnerability. Maybe that is sexy. This sort of, and it's also funny, and what is funny for the male body? What is funny for the female? How do we see this? So these were largely the questions we were asking in the rehearsal room. It's not that we have any answers or solutions for it, but these were important questions that we wanted to ask each other. What is funny, for the female body is not the same for the male. So where is the sexual clown placed in his body or in his? It was also as important as, where is it placed in the female body, So we want to understand the world like that, yeah.
Any questions?
Madam, about the stage techniques that you have employed, it's like you have shown a film shoot on the stage, like an ad kind of thing or whatever. So I mean, how you actually come up with such means to convey?
I think we had fun. Everybody here also does some film, does some theatre. I mean, everybody here, as actors have done film, or been in serials, and this is a very common experience on the set. There is also, in terms of writing as well, there is a film language, wet your lips, hairs are flying, get the heroine ready, give subtext, this kind of give subtext sort of thing. These are also part of a film language. So we were also interested in mixing languages, turning original meanings on its head. You hear one meaning, but you hear it interpreted differently. So these were, and also for me, what was very interesting when we put a camera on an actor is, the time before they go on the camera. There is a very vulnerable moment before they become the heroine or the hero. They are thinking, oh my God, it's almost like they are performing another person. It's not them, this very vulnerable moment. That was very beautiful, I thought, who they are behind the camera. Those also where we were exploring.
Also to add on, I think when the research was on, we saw that there was a time when cinemas were taking up and company theatres had to really match up to it. So from almost doing mythology, they shifted to Samajika plays, which is social plays. So they were drawing a lot of parallels from, cinema. So again, even in play, you could see one woman who's very, oh, I'm a wife, I'm obedient, and there's one woman who's like, and all of that. So we were thinking, and which was very much in cinemas and in plays. So I guess Sharan also had a lot of questions, and the whole question that she posed at us was, what is heroine for you? And we all had different versions of heroines. But what we knew is a archetype was Aankhon Ki Gustakiyan. And I guess we wanted to kind of, comment about it. And I guess that's how, after a lot of, and if you would see our rehearsal room, there would be more of discussions and a little of floor time. But I guess that is why the play has so much of impact, and she really pushed us towards not performing. And it was a amalgamation of lot of research, conversation, improvs, and proposals that she threw at us to finally arrive at something. So it's a year and a half of journey. So to say how we arrived at a specific scene in the play, I think is too tricky to answer because we don't know.
So there's this thing of women take a long time to get ready. We hear it a lot in memes, in jokes, everything. And across languages, this is a common joke, like a trope. And even in films, heroine is not yet ready means every man in the set will be like, heroine is not ready. Means there'll be some other thing. Why isn't she ready? Because she has so much more to do, literally. I mean, everything has to be perfect. Even in the Swiss Alps, she's like in a sari dancing, and the hero has everything. So even that sari, it'll take a lot. It has to be. She has to do so much dance, so she has to have a certain preparation, and she needs that time. But we're like, she takes time, and she's always delaying. Time is money, and all will come. So we've seen this happen on film sets. It opens so many windows for me actually. No toilets, man. Outdoor shoots, no toilets. Go there. We'll stand here. You go there. It's so easily said. This is what happens in films. There's so much more. So this is just a small window into that world, is what I feel.
I'm not sure we answered your question.
Hi. Sorry, one more question. As a director, what do you how do you choose to, how can I say, what to keep and what not to keep, while devising a performance? So there are so many movements happen, right? And choosing one particular thing from that.
It's horrible, please. You're opening a very difficult conversation. I have to pull something, say no, and then I have to hope they'll forget, and I have to use also. It's a fight, but the process of making the show is also a process of sharpening the questions. It's as sharp and incisive as the question is and the response is. So I think it's a very, I would say that it's also a writing process. Whenever there would be an improv, I would go back and write the scene. So it is not just that it's improvised, it is also chosen in a very incisive sort of way. In the way that writing gives you the specificity, but devising gives you the inventiveness. So we used both. So to also write the scene was as important as to be wildly inventive with it.
Thanks.
Any other questions? I think questions are over. Okay. So it's interesting that something you portrayed which has to be a form, which is not recognized as a form yet. Maybe a journey of a formless form. Continue with that. I wish you all the best.
Thank you
and
very
again
much.
Today you have another performance
Yes,
at 3
we have
o'clock.
another show. Yes, if anyone's not watched it, please come. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to watch again, but I have to go for the other play also for doing the Meet the Artist tomorrow. Okay, so I cannot.
I have one question for the audience, actually, if anyone can answer who's watched the play. I mean, it's a sensitive one. I don't know if I should ask it. Yeah. Was there enough subtitle? Did that help? Anyone who knows Malayalam? Yeah. There was a sort of a delay. Yes. Not there. Yes. Yes. There was, the same thing is there. Yeah.
But I felt the crux is there. The subtitle is minimalistic, just like the play.
Yeah. It's always a fine line. We were wondering, but if we put subtitle everything, then we just read the play. We don't see, because there's also understanding of struggling to understand, and then you understand. So we were trying. Yes, not the play. That happens. So we were trying to strike a sort of a balance.
It's again, you have done beautifully because in the case of that Shakuntala, the only subtitle is a new version
improvised
version of that one. And whatever happens, of course, I do not know Kannada fully, but I knew the play. So it can transcend. Okay, but we need subtitle also. So again, where do you strike the balance? That is it. Okay, but this attempt is good. I think the minimalistic or the crux is given there, and we watch the play, try to understand what it is. So once again, wish you all the best and do such plays more. Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Wish you all the best. Thank you. Thank you for coming and attending this. Again, നാളെ 11:30 നമുക്ക് meet ചെയ്യാം.
ഹലോ, ഇന്ന് 1:30 ഒരു പാനൽ ഡിസ്കഷൻ ഉണ്ടായിരിക്കും. ഇവിടെ വന്നവരെ എല്ലാവരെയും ആ പാനൽ ഡിസ്കഷനിലേക്ക് കൂടെ ക്ഷണിക്കുന്നു. 1:30.